Okay, so I had to re-record again. I wanted to cover some bases that I missed on my last video. The one-man Mexican army's done mowing. Killed my last video. I really wanted to go into the tag team division before I got off that video. It was getting a little lengthy, but when you talk about wrestling, there's just so much to cover. You can't get everything in one video. I wanted to clarify on one thing real quick. Adrian Neville versus Dean Ambrose for the U.S. Championship on NXT was the match. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to forget your name, Adrian Neville. Congrats to you. It was a great match. The Shield, as always, Adrian Neville had the match won, and here comes Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. I don't really pay much attention to the Shield because they've lost their luster. They stopped the match before, he had it won. He had it. Adrian Neville had it. It would have been great for his career. Was he ready for it? Probably not, but it'd have been fun to watch him. He's got some talent. He's got some attitude. He's got the right persona. He's just kind of 3MB-ish in my mind. He's kind of got that attitude a little bit. He needs to fine-tune his mic skills a little more. I think he's just a little coarse. A little bleh. That's with a lot of the NXT guys because they're still trying to get, in the saddle. I feel bad watching them sometimes because they're awkward as hell. But it's still fun to watch them evolve. I wanted to go into the tag team division and basically what they're hitting and missing in WWE when it comes to the tag team division. If my time's wrong, I could be wrong. It's been a little while. Like I said before, I've only been back for about 6 months in wrestling. The wrestling division just really went downhill when you lost Christian and Edge, the Dudley Boys, and the Hardy Boys. Those were the glory days. Those were the days that made the tag team division. You watched wrestling to watch those matches. You'd be like, oh, it's The Rock versus Steve Austin. Oh, well, it's the Dudley Boys versus Christian and Edge, and they're in a ladders match. Well, shit, yeah, I want to watch that. Pardon my French. So basically, what ended up happening was you ended up having just this stale lineup of rosters. Yeah, you had Evolution in there, and you had all these other ones, and it's just like it lost its luster because you didn't have guys doing, the craziest things you've ever seen in your life. Never done in wrestling. You can watch ECW, but these guys were taking it to a new level. Jeff Hardy still has the most memorable ladder match, in my opinion. I don't know. I think it was either Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. I honestly can't remember. And he did a swanton off of like a 25 foot ladder. I don't know how big the ladder was. It was friggin' huge. And went through like 3 sets of tables stacked on each other on Bubba. I think it was Bubba Ray Dudley at the time. It was just, those were the days. Now, you got a little bit of a re-interest in it when you had Kane with Daniel Bryan. Team Hell No was cool. Because you don't see Kane doing stuff like that. He's always been a good singles wrestler. He did Brothers of Destruction, which everybody loves, because Undertaker's just a huge favorite. Kane's a favorite. But when he was with Daniel Bryan, it was like David and Goliath on the same team. Because at the time, Daniel Bryan still was getting that, wow, he's short. You sure he should be a wrestler? And I didn't think that because I liked him. He had a lot of intensity. He's always had a lot of intensity. The thing that I think really launched him and AJ's career was their breakup. Their breakup was huge for both of their careers. It was just a launch point for both of them, and I congratulate them both. I don't know if it was a real breakup. I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. I'm not that in-depth to wrestling. I'm not like, I have to stalk their very personal lives. Yeah, it's not me. I'm not that kind of person. I do know about some personal lives of the wrestlers, like Triple H's real name, which most people don't really know, or if they do know, they don't know how to pronunciate it. Even I may be pronunciating it wrong. Jean-Paul Levesque, I imagine that's what it is. That's just, the same thing with Daniel Bryan. Most people don't know his real name, and it's funny because it's Bryan Danielson, which Daniel Bryan sounds much better. It's a great persona name. Pardon me, I do smoke. If you don't like it, that's just your problem. Don't give me a hard time for my choices. That's all I ask. I know what it does to you. I know what it's done to your family members. I don't need to hear about it. I understand, and I'm sorry you lost somebody to esophageal cancer, mouth cancer, lung cancer, cancer in general. It sucks. Had family members, gone through it, survived, not survived. It's part of life. But that's not what this video is about. We're sticking to the wrestling. The biggest thing I think the WWE misses is they underutilize a lot of their talent. You have somebody like the Usos now, which the Rikishi sons. Rikishi was one of my favorites during the Attitude Era because he was so much fun to watch. You have that now with tons of funk. It's not as fun to watch because it's just awkward seeing Albert. I mean, that's what I know him as. He's been Lord Tensai. He's Tensai now. He's Sweet Daddy T or whatever the hell they're calling him, Sweet T. It's just, I'm sorry. I remember him as Albert the Pierce Maniac during the Attitude Era. And that's what he's always going to be. When I saw him as Lord Tensai, it was cool because he went to Asia and refined his craft a little more. And he's really fun to watch sometimes because he's more athletic now than he was then, in my opinion. He's got a lot more speed. He's a good match with Brutus Clay. And they're another underutilized tag team. They're just used for gimmick matches and a lot of NXT, bump arounds. That might be what they want. That's fine with them. As a WWE fan and a member of the universe, I want to see a lot out of the tag team division. I want to see tag team matches every night. I want to see guys doing what they want to do, having some fun, really putting themselves into it. And the biggest miss I think that the WWE did miss on is they had a chance to really change the whole scope of the tag team division when the Shield hit the scene. They've had a long time they could have come up with this. Somebody should have come up with this. Having a triple tag team championship. I mean, I don't know if that's what it would have been called, but I think it would have been really cool to have something like that. Those are like the matches that a lot of people want to watch right now. Is the Shield versus like the Usos and Mark Henry. That's fun to watch because Mark Henry is huge and he's fun to watch. I've watched him for years, and I don't know what they did with him during the whole John Cena beat up thing. That was really awkward. I don't know if it was a major fail or a last minute company change because they don't want to give a black man a title. I don't know. That's the excuse. Bobby Lashley held the title. He didn't hold the WWE Championship, but he held the World Heavyweight Championship. Booker T's held it. The Rock. The Rock's a black guy. I think he's Samoan and black. I think. It's just, if that's the stigma yet again, it's another big chunk of hypocrisy because who cares? I would have liked to have seen the title change hands. I don't care for John Cena. I will say this in every video probably. I don't like John Cena. It would be really interesting to see what they could do with a lot of these tag team stables. There's a lot of talent that could be refined in tag team form. You could really do a lot with tag team. They're focusing so much on singles, and the single matches are really getting kind of stale. They could have did something with, you could have Dolph Ziggler and Big E. Now the storyline now is, completely different direction, and Dolph's on his own, which is great. I like Dolph Ziggler. I didn't care for him at first. He just kind of got on my nerves, but he kind of grows on you, kind of like Curtis Axel. Curtis Axel can get on your nerves, but he grows on you if you like certain types of wrestlers. You have so many people. I could sit here all day and think of just tag team, combinations, and they would have been so much more fun to watch. Not to mention, you're spending 20 minutes of ring time on two guys trying to work on each other, when you can take 30 minutes, make a great tag team match or a triple tag team match. You could go tornado with it and really have a hell of a match every night. I have a hard time watching Raw and SmackDown. I like watching SmackDown a little more lately because Raw is just so much story and not enough oomph. You see the Usos on there a lot now, and like I said, I love them. They're fun to watch. They're one of those tag teams that just you know they have the ability to do so much, and you feel like they're being restrained. Same thing goes with the Shield. I could see the Shield falling apart because their luster's gone. I mean, they keep getting shot back to NXT to go wrestle other people. That just tells me that they're doing something wrong. It was great at first. The whole dynamic was great, and you were forcing certain wrestlers to make teams with each other. And you really had something because you have like Randy Orton. This last Monday night, it was Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan, and John Cena versus the Shield. People want to see that because it's three of their favorite wrestlers. A lot of people are split between those wrestlers, and some people like the Shield. There's still a lot of fan support for the Shield. WWE just isn't using them properly. That's just, like I said, another opinion. A women's tag team division would be amazing. There's a lot of women's tag team matches going on right now that they really could have they could pull some of these NXT superstars and get them some real face time on the big brands, see what people think of them, get, attention to them, and put them in these tag team matches with veterans. You put Natalya and JoJo, which JoJo's one of the new ones on Totally Divas. She's still in the developmental program. I know it'll take time to put her in. But, you've got these veterans like Natalya, Alicia Fox, don't get me started. Summer Rae can just... I think she's ugly. I'm sorry if you don't like it. Get over it. I don't care for your voice, your personality, everything about it. You might be a nice person in real life. I don't care. I don't like your character, is what it is. If Summer Rae's your real name, that was a dumb move, because I don't like Summer Rae. I don't like your character. As a real person, I don't know you, so I can't judge you. I'm not going to judge you. I'm just judging the character. But you can put all these divas that you've got shot into NXT, and a lot of divas that don't get any airtime on SmackDown or Raw, and put them in tag team matches, put rookies with veterans, and really let them fine-tune themselves. A lot of these divas have a ton of potential. You're just not using anything. One of the other big things I think I wanted to cover was the NXT Tag Championships. That's just a funky title being handed around. Really just either dissolve it or make something of it, because you had Rowan and Harper, the Wyatt family, the two muscle for Bray Wyatt. They were the NXT Tag Champions. They took the titles. They released the titles 3-4 weeks ago. I think that's what I remember, and it's been handed off almost every week. So you're making a mockery of it already. You're not. I don't know if you're just I don't like these tag champions anymore. Let's pass it on. Let's pass it on. Let's pass it on. Start taking these NXT superstars and have them defend their NXT titles on Superstars, Main Event, SmackDown. You don't have to put them on Raw. You think Raw is your big moneymaker. I mean, yeah, it is, but you're pissing on it. Pardon my French. You're just not doing anything with it. It's getting terrible. There's no oomph. That joke of a scenery you did with Daniel Bryan trying to do a corporate makeover, that was just... It was just another dumb Mr. McMahon oomph. The thing they're doing with Triple H, that's kind of cool that he's getting, I'm going to take the business from him because he's a freaking moron. That's fun to watch. It is. It's fun to watch. I like to see what they're going to do with it. Other than that, I wanted to touch base on the tag team division and what they missed on that. I like to try and break down each division as I go along. Tell me what you think. I mean, if you think a triple tag team would have been really cool if they would have did it at the right time, things like that. Just let me know. Like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Like I said, if you know some wrestling fans, I'd like to hear their opinions. If you got negative opinions, try to keep them within the spectrum of the wrestling, because if you got something negative to say about me, just go away. There's no point. I'm only here to just express my opinion, and I want to see what other people think. That's all it is. I'm looking at wrestling, I'm seeing something, and maybe, with enough attention, maybe they'll pay attention and they'll take some of these ideas to heart. If we get enough of us together, and a lot of us have the same, opinion, or, somebody else has a different opinion that makes our opinion better. I want that. Or, constructive criticism is always helpful. Thanks again, guys. I appreciate it. See you later.